I like to think of music for video games as providing a function that is different from all other pictured media, whether you're talking about film or television. Somebody is actually performing an activity. They're holding a controller and they're doing something. And so that musical score is scoring the gameplay experience. In God of War 2, the character of the game itself is punching and driving, and swords are smashing into things. So there's an intense, percussive, slamming quality to the God of War musical score.
The God of War 2 score really tracks the intensity of the game as if it's just another player in there, like another invisible actor in there, just raging right alongside Kratos. I think one of the most impressive things is the fact that we can have multiple composers working on this project and end up with a very unique, cohesive sound.
We actually had 4 composers who are also on God of War 1. Gerard Marino, Mike Regan, Ron Fish, and Chris Velasco. We work closely up front with the director, Corey, to really kind of define what musical cues are going to be needed. And then we design a cue list. When we get all those cues from the composers, they're kind of raw materials. It's time for us now to kind of cut it all up and adapt it and make it work in the game itself.
We spot the game the same way that directors and composers sit together and spot a movie. And we're free to do all the different things that we can do in editing and in programming the music so that it sounds like you're actually hearing a cinematic score when you play the game.
This time around, we added a lot more live production. Some of the compositions are a little bit more complex and frenetic, and we really needed just like the best players to really pull this off.
And so we went to London for our brass. They just have an amazing sound. They're among the very best players in the world. And the brass plays a very important role in God of War. When they literally sight read their first cue, bam, it came out at us, and we were like, that's why we came. Same thing was true in Prague, where we got our strings, and we recorded a 40-voice choir. They got the music very quickly and put their hearts and souls into it.
The live music then comes back and has to be incorporated back into all of the source material we received, and just sounds incredible. The music production overall, like the rest of God of War 2, is a massive undertaking. I think it speaks a lot to the quality of the game we're working on, that everybody is working so hard and still having such a great time. It just clicks.
You really need a great video game to be a vehicle for a great score. And that's what we have with God of War 2, just like we had with God of War 1. I mean, you end up with an experience that really raises the bar of what people should expect from a video game.
We're combining synth tracks from the composers, brass from London, strings from Prague, choir from Prague, and all these elements coming together, whammo. It was like, okay, this is why we've done all this.